Good afternoon, everyone. I am doing the tag for Cartomancy First for the tarot. I'm Wild Color Cauldron, and my name is Heidi Feather. So when and how did you first find out you have a love for cards? Well, the cards didn't come first. What came first was I knew I had a knack for feeling energies. I could tell, I could talk with animals, so to speak. It wasn't a verbal communications, but I could feel what animals were feeling. They could tell me things. I remember once a friend's dog was telling, I got the message, water, 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 and I thought the dog was thirsty. Well, it had to do with water, but the dog needed to go out and pee. So I was getting messages like that from, I don't remember when. I can't put a date on it or an age. When I was growing up, we played a lot of cards, and I can remember being with my cousins, and we were playing with a deck of cards, and we were seeing how many cards we could guess without looking at them. And I kind of freaked myself and my cousin out because I got like 8 out of 10 cards. I knew the card she was holding in her hand. So that worked. And also, we had a Ouija board growing up, and that was something I knew I wasn't moving. I could feel that it was the energy, the inner energy, moving my hands, not really my hands moving themselves. So I had that experience. And then 20 or so, some odd years ago, a friend had a deck of Rider-Waite, and we were trying to figure out how that worked, and it was very frustrating. And I didn't like the Rider-Waite. Like somebody else said, I didn't like the pictures. So I ended up getting the Hanson Robert tarot. Sorry about moving. I kicked the camera, the tripod. The Hanson Robert tarot, and I felt a lot more synergy with that. And it was frustrating at first, trying to, memorize everything. And then they said, oh, you got to memorize everything in reverse, too. Because not necessarily reverse is not necessarily reverse. And I'm like, well, why would I need to read in reverse? There's 78 cards. Isn't that enough information right there? So I intuitively knew, I said, I'm never going to read reverse. It's always going to be right side up, because the cards are going to tell me what I need to know. I don't need to have them upside down to know what I need to know. So I worked with the cards on and off. And I would say it was probably 3 or 4 years ago. Amber, who is Lavender Moon, please check out her videos. I'll put her link below. She's a friend of mine. I met her on a retreat, a goddess retreat, and she got back, she was doing tarot readings, and that sparked my interest again in tarot. And so I started picking them up again. And it was like they had been away for a while, but when I picked them up again, I could read them. It was like, all I can say, it was like a magical happening. All of a sudden I could read the tarot. And I think the reason I realized that was, one, I had studied them quite a bit, and 2, I had worked with the elements, earth, air, water, and fire for most of my life. So I always had that basis, and something, just like something inside me clicked, and my intuition clicked, and I was able to read that. So I'll stop here, because I could ramble on more about my intuition. When and how did you get your first deck card? So, I already said that. I don't know when. Time has escaped me. But I'm pretty sure it was a Hanson Robert tarot with my first deck. The first deck I really felt synergy with. The first deck I felt I could read. and also the Native American Tarot. That was something I felt I could read also. I would say I've had them for years. I don't know. I've had them that long. And number 3, how was it at first getting to know the cards? I already said that already. See, so I don't have that much more to say. It was frustrating. It was like looking at a foreign language that I didn't understand. And I had people tell me, don't try to memorize it, read the card. But it just didn't click at that time. It took till later for it to click. And some clues that Amber suggested helped too, I think, also. So I have to give kudos to her. What methods do you use or did you use or do you use to get to know about your new cards? I don't have any method. I just get them and I probably work with them. I know what I did when I just got the Druidcraft Tarot. And before that I had got the Witch's Tarot by Anne Moria, because I have some of Anne Moria's books and I enjoyed her, so I thought I would like her tarot. It's not a bad tarot, but there's so much going on in it, I find it too crowded. So I'm in love with the Druidcraft. So what I did with that was I laid out the Hanson Robert deck against the Druidcraft. So I laid them out so I could compare them, because I know the Hanson Robert deck so well that it gave me a chance to compare and synthesize. So I guess I really look at the deck. I think that's my go-to when I get my next deck, which will be the Wildwood Tarot. I think I fell in love with this guy's tarots decks. I think I'm going to lay it out against my Hanson Robert, because that's the one I know the best. Is there anyone in the family that was a card reader? I'm not sure, but I do know my great-grandmother, my maternal great-grandmother. She read tea leaves, and she was very, as I understand, was quite accurate. She read tea leaves from my mother and saw an airplane in her future. And my mother ended up marrying my dad, who became a pilot for small planes. So she was really quite good. So that I would say I had a reader in my family, not necessarily. I asked my mother if she knew if her grandmother did readings, read the cards, and she didn't really know. She said it's very possible she did, but it might have been kept secret. This would have been back in the early 1900s in Canada. So it's possible. So that's that, and I'm really excited to meet all you new wonderful tarot people out there. I mean, kind of new at doing the videos and everything, because I'm in love with Mother Earth first, and I'm in love with the tarots that really reflect Mother Earth, and that's why I am in love with the Druidcraft Tarot. And that's probably enough for my rambling. It's probably been a lot longer than I thought. Over and out.